Well, greetings and welcome in to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 75 today. We thank you for being with us. We've been waiting all week for you to show up, and now you are here, good and ready to go. And now let's get to part two of my interview with Marc from France, author, blogger, the owner of the website nudeandhappy.com.
But I think that the fact that we are vulnerable from a physical and even a psychological way makes us more respectful. I think that you said multiple times in the show that people don't get angry when they're naked. I've never seen people angry. And even if I have a discussion, sometimes I can feel, not really well in agreement with the person I'm talking to, but I'm not going to be angry against him or her. It's just, okay, well, fine.
Right.
Don't have the same point of view. That's it.
And obviously you can get them from Amazon. Can you get them from your website? And how else can people get your books today, Marc?
No, it's just on Amazon, exclusively there.
Okay. All right. Very good. Great to talk to you. We'll have you back on again. Marc from nudeandhappy.com. Marc, go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you very much. Likewise.
All right. Thank you. And here she is, the one and only, the completely clothes-free, completely smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I'm doing terrific. I suffer from the same malady you do. I think part of it is that we've always been givers, so it's kind of hard to say, hey, here it is, and your support would be wonderful. So the fact is that we do this because we love it, and we do it for free. Just like everybody else in the world, we are now looking at other options, as you said, to kind of defray expenses and I really think kind of make this community even stronger.
And to answer any questions that might be in the minds of our listeners, you and I each have a Naked Nudist and Naturist coffee mug, and it just tastes better for some reason today, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's good. I mean, gee whiz, I got the big one too because, we need lots of coffee in this world.
It's either the large mug or IV, and we found it was cheaper to buy the mug, so that's what we're doing. Life is great. And Lisa Monroe, with that, we have to head for the hills, go out there and have a great clothes-free week, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely, Frank. You too, and bye to everyone. Have a great clothes-free week too.
Sounds good. Well, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 75 today. Thank you for being with us. And now let's get to part one of my interview with the host of the podcast, Naked Men Talking, the terrific Gareth Johnson. I think I saw episode 4, and you're well over 100 now. So that was a long, long time ago in terms of episodes. But you've only been doing the show, about a year or two at the most?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. September 23 was when I think the first one went out. And so it's been really exciting to sort of figure out the direction of the show and get people involved and see it evolve over time. It's been a bit of a gradual process, I guess, because as you mentioned, I grew up in Australia and, there certainly is a naturist community in Australia. There's naturist opportunities, but it wasn't something that I ever experienced or had any sort of meaningful connection to. And so it really wasn't until I moved to the UK and started, going on vacations to various parts of Europe, traveling around Europe, where you sort of just encounter naturism a bit by osmosis, just because you're going to a beach, the rules around beaches in Europe are pretty relaxed, and, so there's generally a clear section where people are getting their clothes off. And so you just sort of start to experience it and realize, well, this is pretty nice. I can get into this. I have recently been experimenting with creating some video versions of the podcast, which, obviously isn't that difficult to do with the sort of developing software that's out there and available. Right. There are a few challenges, though, when you have a video interview of a naked podcast, which I'm sure you've experienced as well.
What do you mean? In terms of getting it on YouTube or?
Exactly. When you try and distribute video content of two naked men talking, that limits the platforms on which you can publish that.
Oh, definitely. Oh, gosh, no kidding. Well, I saw one video of yours. I think it was a recent one you were seated, so we saw you from maybe above the chest on up, but the other guy was seated on a couch at his place, and we could see his whole body basically.
No, that's exactly right. And so I'm trying to experiment with different camera angles in a way. So, and I can publish videos of naked conversations on my website, but they obviously wouldn't be able to go on things like Instagram or, YouTube or whatever. So it does start to create some complexity. But I think it's worth doing because obviously with video, you get so much more, than just hearing. It's a different experience. You're seeing people's expressions. You're sort of engaging with the content in a different way. So I think there's definitely a place for video. I would just like the world to be a little bit more accepting of seeing the naked body.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing the show that we do, is to normalize it because it is normal. The old expression, we were born that way. We're the ones who changed. We didn't have to change, but we were told we had to. So here we are. The very terrific Gareth Johnson, the host of the podcast show Naked Men Talking. He's also a terrific writer, fully gets the radio business, the podcast business, so check him out, Naked Men Talking, the terrific Gareth Johnson. On next week's show, which will be episode 76, part 2 of my interview with Gareth Johnson from Naked Men Talking, as well as a return visit from Andy Rogers, but this time as the president of the Northwest region for the American Association for Nude Recreation. Well, you've been listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 75 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked Nudists and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked Nudists and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.